What's up, everybody? I'm Allie Burns from Picks Parlays, and I've got a free pick. We're talking Canadian football. The Montreal Alouettes are taking on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and I've got your free pick coming right up. But first, I've got to remind everybody, of course, about our sponsor. Up to $1,000 in a risk-free first bet for all new accounts signing on with BetMGM. All you got to do is download the BetMGM app onto your phone and then use the promo code MORNING. That'll get you right to where you need to be, or you can always check out the description of this video and click on the link. Now, with me today, talking CFL, I've got expert handicapper Nick Parsons from the Insiders Room. What's going on, Nick?
Yeah, not much. I mean, it's week 10 in the CFL. We're basically halfway through the season. I can hardly believe it. And I guess the CFL does have some interest for the next couple of weeks before college and the NFL really get going.
I'm into this league. I love betting on them. I like to watch the games. I'm like all for. It's easier for me to figure out because there's only 12 teams. So you get pumping along there. So we've got Alouettes and Blue Bombers. The Bombers are minus 11.5 at home. The total's 48.5. What do you got for me, Parsons?
So yeah, this Thursday night game here, obviously Montreal is a massive underdog in Winnipeg, but I do think that they catch the 9-0 Blue Bombers at a really good time here. I expect them to put up a much more of a battle than what the odds makers are trying to lead us to believe. Now, Winnipeg is the two-time defending Grey Cup champion. It's 9-0 straight up. It's 7-2 against the spread. Montreal, on the other hand, it's just 2-6 straight up. It's 4-4 against the spread. Now, these teams did play last weekend, Montreal. Winnipeg did win by a score of 35-20. It covered the 5.5-point spread. But interestingly, though, they were tied going into the fourth quarter. They were tied at 14. The Blue Bombers scored 3 touchdowns, and Winnipeg just managed the 2 field goals. That was the difference that fourth quarter. Now, you know, Allie, this has really gotten to a point where the odds makers are throwing out any spread, and like, you know, the general betting public is just betting any spread that they throw out there because Winnipeg has been just that good so far. But I think that this is the point where that finally catches up to them. That finally sort of starts to correct itself here. I just think the 12.5 points is really too much. I think that this really is a trap game for Winnipeg here because next week it has another bye week followed by a game against Calgary, a much more important game here. So it's a letdown spot. It's a look-ahead spot. Now their star quarterback, Zach Collaros, he was contained last week by Montreal. He was just 15 of 26 for 210 yards. He had 2 touchdowns, but he also had 3 interceptions. Now Montreal used 3 different quarterbacks. The main one was Trevor Harris. He was 16 of 26 for 127 yards. He had 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. Neither team had great quarterback play whatsoever. It was a game that was dominated by the run game and the special teams. And you know what, Ellie? I think that we're going to see another battle here from Montreal, a similar sort of game here, but this time it's going to be a full 4-quarter effort. So as I said earlier, I'm not calling for the outright upset, but I think this is going to be a battle. I think this spread is now just too large. So I'm taking the underdog. Let's roll with Montreal on Thursday.
All right. Yeah. Double-digit points. It's hard to lay them. A lot easier to take them. Correction. There are 9 teams in the CFL, 12 in the WNBA. That's where I was going with that. But that's just it. I like that league because it's kind of just easier to jump into than it is jumping into the NFL with 32 teams. You know, if you're a football person, you want to get involved with something. And Nick Parsons, the Insiders Room, has been hot with the CFL. You've been hot with baseball. I know you guys pick a lot of day games. Tell us about your football. We got the NFL season right around the corner. You guys finished pretty strong last year, if I remember.
That's correct. Yeah, we finished 9-1 throughout the playoffs and the Super Bowl. And so, yeah, we didn't play the Hall of Fame game, but we're ready to go for the first week of the preseason. There's lots of money to be made in the preseason, some weak lines if you're looking around carefully. And so we already have our Thursday night game of the week up, and that 9-1 run is on the line. Come check that out over at picksandparlays.net.
Yes, click on the Insiders Room and then use the promo code CFL. That's going to save you 20% off whatever you purchase from Nick and the crew. Until then, let's roll with the Alouettes plus 11.5 when they take on the Blue Bombers this Thursday.